Welcome to your gentle practice. Today we're working with the earth element and getting right into our foundations as we cultivate a sense of groundedness. Hope you enjoy. Let's begin then. We'll start lying down, coming onto your back and bending your knees. You might take your feet as wide as the mat if you want to, dropping your knees into the middle, particularly if your lower back's feeling a little grouchy this morning. That's a nice position for the lower back. Another option, if you're looking for a little more brightness in your practice, is to drop the knees out to the side and bring the soles of the feet together. This gives us a little back bend, which is a slightly energizing position. So just closing your eyes now or softening your gaze and taking a moment to really settle in, to arrive for your practice. Letting go of any distracting thoughts, concerns or to-do lists. Pressing the pause button on absolutely everything and giving yourself this time to be right here, right now. And connecting to your breathing, noticing the rise and fall of the breath. Noticing the pauses in your breathing. And feeling that breath nourishing every cell as prana is directed around the body, carried by the breath. And really opening up into the side ribs and into the back of the rib cage. Allowing the breath to be your ballast, to be your support in this practice ahead. When you're ready, bring your knees back to center and let's gather up the right leg now and bring this in towards the chest. We're going to lengthen out to the ends of the toes of the left leg, pointing the toes. And take a moment to establish your neutral spine position. So finding a little space between the lower back and the floor. And returning to your breathing. And each time you're breathing out, guiding the right thigh in towards the chest. And as you're breathing in, lengthening out down to the ends of the toes of the left foot and all the way up to the top of the shoulder. Filling the left side of the body with a sense of spaciousness and length. And each time you're breathing out, guiding the right thigh in. Take one more inhalation here. And then as you exhale, let's curl up. Imagine drawing the pubic bone towards the navel. Lower down as you breathe in again. Curling up on your exhale. And lowering as you breathe in. Continuing to move in and out of the shape, led by your breath. And after you next bring your head down to the mat, take your right hand over your right knee, the left hand behind the head. Breathe in here. And then as you exhale, let's curl up and we're going to just hold there for a moment. Let's keep the neck and the shoulders nice and soft. So really focused on the lower abdomen, supporting you in the shape and helping you lift that chest off the mat. Returning back down again when you're ready. And let's keep the right hand on the right knee. We'll bend the left leg now and take the left hand to the middle of the left thigh. Let's press into the left thigh as we draw the right leg into the chest. Imagining opposites in direction now from the lumbar spine, moving away on the left side, drawing in on the right, and really pressing the middle and the lower back into the earth. Imagine you can even grow roots down into the earth through that area. Breathing tension out of the body, breathing softness and expansion in. Releasing from this when you're ready. Let's give the knees just a gentle zigzag side to side. And then coming back to center, we'll gather up the left leg now. Bringing this into the chest and lengthening out through the right leg, pointing the right toes. And taking a moment to establish your neutral spine again. So finding that little space between the lower back and the floor. And then returning to your breathing. Working with your exhalation to gently guide the left thigh into the chest. And as you're breathing in, directing your attention down to the toes and up to the top of the shoulder, feeling a lengthening throughout the right side of the body as you're breathing in. Every exhale guiding the left thigh into the chest. Take one more inhalation here. And then as you exhale, curl up. Again, imagine drawing the pubic bone towards the navel, lowering down as you breathe in. So continuing with this, trying to keep a certain softness through the neck and the shoulders each time you lift, and making it be the lower part of the abdomen that drives you into these curl ups, rather than kind of cranking the neck and the head into action. Starting that movement right from the base of the pelvic floor, engaging the lower part of the abdomen. And after you next return to the floor, let's take the left hand over the left knee, the right hand behind the head. Breathe in again, and then on exhale, we're going to curl up and hold here for a moment. Firing up the lower part of the abdomen, keeping the neck and the shoulders nice and soft. Returning to the earth as you breathe in again. And then let's bend the right leg. Take your right hand to the middle of the right thigh, left hand over the top of the left knee. We're going to press into the right leg and draw the left one into the chest, pressing the middle and the lower back into the earth. Perhaps visualizing roots growing out through all of the torso, down into the earth. Breathing tension out of the middle and the lower back here. And then releasing from this when you're ready. Let's take the arms all the way overhead and lengthen out through your legs. Opening up from the tops of your fingers down to your toes. Let's soften out across the shoulders there, broadening a little bit, moving your head just a little, easing out tension in the neck. And then float the arms back down. We'll bend the knees again now, preparing for desk pose. So making a strong connection with the earth through your feet, really pressing into the 3 points of support. So that's under the big toe, under the pinky toe, and under the heel of each foot. And you'll notice your arches lifting just a little as you do that. And then visualize the deep front line now, running from the base of the big toe through the inner legs to the hip points and up to the sternum on each side. And as we move in and out of desk pose, let's aim to share the load of the pose evenly through the deep front line in order to help us not overtax the lower back in the movement. Inhale, press into the earth and raise the hips and the chest into the air. Your arms come overhead or wide if you like. Begin your exhale and then let's slowly roll down little by little, seeing if you can experience each vertebra in the movement back down to the floor. So rising into the shape as you breathe in. Beginning your exhale as you regroup through your foundations and gently roll yourself back down. Moving in and out of desk pose, following your breathing, so no need to keep up with me. Moving at the pace that your breath directs. Noticing if you might be favouring one leg or the other as you move. And if so, perhaps creating a new habit in your movement of sharing the load a little more evenly. And as you come into that next elevation, let's stay there, and we're going to lower the arms back down to the mat. So let's let the palms face downwards and really press into the back of the shoulders, the upper arms, the forearms and the hands. And then make that strong connection with the 3 points of support in your feet again. Floating the hips and the heart high. You can choose to stay as you are, or if you want to, you might lengthen out through the left leg, keeping the thighs parallel and the hip points absolutely even. And return the left foot to the mat, even up through the hip points again. Find that strength and groundedness in the feet. And then you might choose to lengthen out through the right leg now. Parallel through the thighs, hip points nice and even. Return the right foot to the mat. And then when you're ready, let's gently roll down little by little, returning to the floor. Bring your knees into your chest, give them a nice squeeze. And then returning to center and taking your arms wide. Let's inhale here, and as you exhale, drop your knees to the right side, gazing towards the left or keeping your gaze towards the ceiling. Taking a moment to really lengthen out to the ends of the fingertips, to think about drawing your left shoulder a little closer to the earth and broadening into the left side of the rib cage. Come back to center as you breathe in. And then let's drop the knees to the left side now. So you might gaze to the ceiling, you might gaze to the right, drawing the right shoulder down to the earth, broadening out through the right side of the rib cage. Being held in this space, being present with each breath as it arrives. Coming back to center again when you're ready, and then let's return the feet to the mat. We're going to roll over to the right side now and come up onto hands and knees, setting up in cat pose. So hands are right under the shoulders, elbows soft. Finding length from the crown to the tailbone, finding that nice long neutral spine here. Breathe in cat. And then as you exhale, move to cow pose, tucking the chin and tailbone under. Return to cat, lifting the gaze. And on exhale, moving to child's pose, surrendering all of your breath, tucking the chin into the chest. Returning to cat again as you breathe in, finding neutral. Breathe out to cow pose. Returning to cat, lifting the gaze, a little back bend this time. And then rounding the back as you move to child's pose, letting all the breath go. Taking one more round, breathing through cat. Moving to cow as you breathe out. Returning to cat again, lifting the gaze. And surrendering to child's pose, letting all the breath leave you. Let's just stay in child's pose a little longer now. Walking your fingertips a little bit more forward so we're getting some more length through the arms and through the sides of the back. Easing out any tension in your neck, giving your head a little movement and breathing into the back of the body. and really feeling the earth underneath you, the earth under the hands, under all the points of contact your body's making with the floor. Present where you are in this space and in this breath. From here, let's return to cat pose. And then we're going to lift to downward dog now, bringing your hips into the air. Let's keep the elbows soft. Let's keep the knees bent and the heels off the mat. Having a little walk out. When we do, keep the knees bent in downward dog. It helps us keep the spine long rather than rounding the back. And then when you're ready, let's walk the feet towards the hands, coming into a forward fold here. Take the hands to the shins and we'll take a half lift, breathing in, find a long spine there. Exhale and fold, let all your breath go. Take the hands to the hips and draw the elbow tips back. Lead with the heart and let's come all the way to standing now, taking your arms overhead. As you exhale, let's take a twist towards the left, pressing through the air and pressing into your foundations. Raise your arms high, breathing in. And then let's twist towards the right now, again pressing into the earth. Take your arms high, breathing in, lifting the gaze. And now drop your gaze to the floor and unfurl through the neck, the upper back, the middle and lower back into Uttanasana. Soften the knees as much as you want to. Take a half lift as you breathe in again, find a long spine. Exhale and fold, let all your breath go. Hands to the hips, draw the elbow tips back and lead with the heart now, coming up to standing, a big circle around the body. Exhale, twisting to the right now, pressing through the air and pressing into the earth. Take your arms up again, breathing in, and then twisting to the left. Take your arms up again, breathing in. Bring the hands to Anjali over the crown, and now bring the hands down to the heart. Docking the base of the hands into the sternum, connecting to the root of the heart, connecting to everything that holds you steady and strong, pressing into the earth, held in this space, in this breath. And then releasing the hands by the side of the body now. Let's take a little separation in the feet. You might want to come sideways on your mat for this. So facing down the long end of the mat. And then let's direct the right foot towards the top end of the mat. So the torso is facing the long end of the mat rather than being in a twisted position. We're keeping the torso facing away from the leading foot. Let's take the arms overhead now. And as you exhale, bend the forward knee and gaze over the fingers of the right hand. Let's soften the arms. Let's imagine the arms floating on the surface of water in our warrior two. Pressing down into the air with these extended arms. And if you notice your knee dropping in, let's gently coax it back towards the pinky toe side of the foot. When you're ready, take your right arm and send it overhead in reverse warrior. And then on exhale, let's take side angle pose. So resting the right arm on the thigh and taking your left arm overhead. Reverse your warrior again, breathing in. And then moving to side angle pose as you breathe out. So as you're taking these movements, staying as stable and even as you can through your feet and through your legs, really grounded and strong there. And all this movement going on through the spine, through the arms, the upper body, soft and fluid. And holding in your reverse warrior as you arrive there next time. Pressing into your toes, pressing into the heels, lifting the arches, and strong and even through both legs. Come back to your warrior when you're ready. And then let's direct all 10 toes forward and raise the arms high now. We're going to fold gently through the middle, dropping the gaze to the floor, taking this nice and slowly, bending your knees as much as you want to. You might rest your hands on your legs. If you have super long arms like I do, you might rest your hands on the floor. Just see what feels best. And you might like a little movement here too, a little swaying action. Follow your body's lead. And then let's take the hands to the tops of the knees. We'll inhale to a half lift here, gazing towards the mat. Breathe out there, and then come the rest of the way up, breathing in. And now let's lower the arms down. So now we're going to direct the left foot to the top end of the mat, and again, keeping the torso facing the long edge of your mat. Breathe in and raise the arms high. And as you exhale, let's bend the left leg and go to warrior two on this side, gazing over the fingers of the left hand. Feeling like you're really pressing energy down, containing and being strong and stable. The arms floating out from the center of the collarbones. And checking in with that knee, if it's dropping inwards, you might want to guide the knee back towards the pinky toe side of the foot. When you're ready, reverse your warrior, taking the left arm overhead, breathing in, and then moving to side angle pose as you exhale, taking the right arm overhead. Reversing your warrior, breathing in, and side angle pose follows. So again, as we move through these shapes, we stay fluid and soft through the upper body and really grounded and stable through the feet and the legs, feeling again like you might be drawing roots into the earth as you hold your foundations. Arriving in your reverse warrior, let's hold there, lengthening through the side body, breathing out the things that don't serve you, letting ama out of your system, creating space for optimism, for hope, for joy in your day. Return to your warrior two when you're ready. And then let's direct all 10 toes forward. Take your arms high again. And we'll fold right through the middle, softening the knees and letting your hands perhaps land on your legs or arrive on the mat again, whatever is best for your stability and your comfort. Not forcing or pushing the body into anything. And then when you're ready, let's walk the hands to the top end of your mat again, pivoting on the feet. And then from here, let's come onto all fours, arriving in cat pose again. You might like to just take a few rounds now of cat-cow. If your body is craving a little symmetry, playing with that undulating spine, moving from flexion to extension and back again. Maybe you feel a bit like Ganesha pose today. If you want to take that one instead, or as well as, go ahead and lean into points of tension. Let your body lead you in Ganesha. Ganesha, the deity, represents removing obstacles and finding wisdom, this beautiful elephant god. And when I play in Ganesha, I often imagine myself like an elephant in the jungle, just spiraling around and letting the body lead me towards dukkha, places holding darkness and tightness, and directing the breath there, directing prana there, and untangling some of these knots with this gentle, kind movement. Come back to center when you're ready. And let's walk the hands back to the knees now. And from here, let's come to lying down. So let's lift the feet off the mat, and we're going to cross the right leg over the left one like you're sitting down on a chair. We'll take the arms wide. Breathe in here, and as you exhale, let's bring the knees to the right side. You might support your right knee with your right hand and forearm, or you might also coax your right knee over if that feels okay. You can gaze to the ceiling or gaze to the left. And as you're holding this lying twist, again getting that feeling of really drawing down into the earth, being aware of all the points of contact your body is making with the earth. And with your left hand, you might bring your ring finger to your thumb tip, taking a mudra that calls on the earth element today to support you in this practice and to hold you steady and grounded through the day ahead. And then return to center when you're ready. Let's untangle the legs, and we'll do this the opposite way now. So crossing the left leg over the right. Take an inhalation here. And then as you exhale, let's bring the knees to the left side. So perhaps supporting your left knee with your left hand and forearm. Or if it feels okay, you might coax the left knee over a little bit further with the left hand. But really pay attention to what feels right in your body today. The gaze could be to the ceiling, or you might gaze to the right. Lengthening out to the ends of the fingertips of the right hand, perhaps taking that mudra on this side, the ring fingertip to the thumb tip. Calling on the earth element in the body. And being present in all the points of contact your body is making with the floor. Held in this safe space. Nourishing yourself with prana with every breath you take. And then return to center again. Let's untangle the legs now. We'll finish with Apanasana, so hands over the top of the kneecaps, the feet are just dangling. Inhale and send your knees and your feet away, the fingertips following the knees. Begin your exhale and bring your knees into your chest. Sending the knees and the feet away as you breathe in. Begin to breathe out and bring your knees into the chest. If you want a little more strength in this, you might take your arms overhead or wide. And you might really lean into your exhalation, slowing it down just a little. Which means it is just that little bit more challenging to move with smoothness and measure. And making this one your last round of Apanasana. And then let's return the feet to the floor. We could take that teepee position with the knees if you want to, taking the feet wide and dropping the knees into the middle, or perhaps dropping your knees out to the side. When we bring the knees out to the side and bring the feet together, it is a more energizing position for the body and a nice one at the beginning of the day too. And letting your hands just rest on your tummy now. The shoulders dropping open. Imagine you can smooth over the top ribs and the rib cage and just create a little bit more space to breathe. Aware of all the points of contact your body is making with the floor. And every exhalation you take, releasing a little bit more weight into these points of contact. Really merging into the earth. Letting go with each exhale. Resting just where you are in this breath, in this moment. And in this state of deep relaxation, finding gratitude towards yourself for taking time today to practice yoga, doing something nourishing and restorative just for you. And finding gratitude for being in a healthy and agile body, able to breathe and move freely, to live where we do, and be able to make all the choices you can about the life you want to live. Inviting your senses back into your awareness now and deepening your breathing again. Bringing a little movement to your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, rolling over, taking a few moments to reorient. And we'll find our way to a comfortable seated position to finish our session. Meeting with the hands at Anjali Mudra at the heart. The base of the hands tucked into the sternum, all the fingertips in connection. Putting that little bit more pressure on the ends of the ring fingers. Bringing our focus back to the earth element in the body, supporting you today, holding you clear and strong and grounded through this day ahead. Let's bring the hands now to the center of the forehead, inviting inspiration, creativity, and wonder into our thoughts. Bring the hands to the throat, inviting kindness and gratitude into all of our words. And hands to the heart center as a reminder to move through all of our days with our hearts wide open, receptive to everything nourishing and beautiful in our world. Thank you for practicing with me today. Have a beautiful day ahead. Take care now. Namaste.